Come to Cape Town, the city by the seaside. You'll meet a lot of friends, have lots of fun. Cape Town's number one.
My disciples, do you see my background? Yes, I'm standing in front of a rainbow. The country I'm in today is literally called the Rainbow Nation. It is to describe the unity of various cultural, racial or ethnic groups in the country. Most of you have already guessed it, right? Yes, we are at South Africa, the Rainbow Nation. And today we will know about the charming city of Cape Town. So, let us begin it now. Right now, I'm sitting at the Parliament building of South Africa. Perhaps, it is the only country in the world which has 3 different capitals. Yes, my friends, you heard it right. 3 capitals. The 3 seats of the government are located in 3 different locations. Generally, we have a particular city in a sovereign country where the legislative, executive and the judiciary are situated. But, in South Africa, Cape Town is the legislative capital where the parliament is located. The executive capital is Pretoria, while the judicial capital is Bloemfontein. Sometimes, people consider Johannesburg as the 4th unofficial capital because there are plenty of the government places and offices situated there. So, before I tell you why Cape Town is special and charming, you must know where it is located. Let my assistant tell you about the basic geography of Cape Town. South Africa is located at the southernmost part of Africa. The Atlantic Ocean lies to the west of South Africa, while the Indian Ocean lies to the east and south. South Africa shares land border with Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique and Eswatini to the north. The country of Lesotho is a landlocked country within South Africa. The southernmost point of the African continent lies in the Western Cape Province. It is Cape Agulhas. However, the southernmost point of South Africa is the tiny uninhabited Marion and Prince Edward Islands. These islands belong to the Western Cape Province and have been declared special nature reserves. Cape Hooker on Marion Island is the ultimate southernmost point of South Africa out of the mainland. South Africa is divided into 9 provinces. Western Cape Province is one of them. Western Cape Province is further subdivided into 6 districts, which are again divided into wards and municipalities. The Northern Cape Province lies to the north, and the Eastern Cape Province lies to the east. The city of Cape Town is the capital of the Western Cape Province and the legislative capital of South Africa. If we zoom in, we see that there are many bays around Cape Town. The False Bay separates the Cape Peninsula from the mainland. Robben Island lies 6 kilometers west, in the Table Bay. The Black River is a river in Cape Town. It is a tributary of the Salt River, together with the Leesbeek River and the Elsaskraal River. The Table Mountain has the highest peak of the city at 1,084.6 meters. Cape Town International Airport connects Cape Town to major destinations across the globe. It is South Africa's 2nd largest airport. Cape Town Railway Station is the main railway station of the city. The city is governed by the executive mayor elected by a council. How many of you like flowers or flowering plants? I think many of you have a fascination for flowers. If you do like flowers, then I can say visiting Cape Town shall be on the bucket list of every flower lover. According to the 6 floral kingdoms in the world, the Capensis Kingdom lies entirely within South Africa and the mountainous kingdom of Lesotho. The Capensis Kingdom is further divided into provinces and regions. The Cape Floristic region covers a vast majority of South Africa. But before I turn this channel into a channel based entirely on botany, let me tell you that the Cape Floristic region constitutes of several types of vegetation, some of which are endemic only to the city of Cape Town. For example, Lawrence Fertiluvium fynbos is a vegetation type which is unique to Cape Town. Now, you can imagine that there are certain species of flowering plant which are unique only to your own city. But what makes Cape Town's flowering plants unique is the climate of Cape Town. So, before I tell you about a few special flowering species, let us discuss the weather first. Cape Town, being far away from the Mediterranean Sea, still has a warm Mediterranean climate. It has mild, moderately wet winters and dry, warm summers. Winter, which lasts from the beginning of June to the end of August, may see large cold fronts entering for limited periods from the Atlantic Ocean with significant precipitation and strong northwesterly winds. Winters in the city average a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius to 8.5 degrees Celsius. Summers, which lasts from December to March, is warm and dry with an average maximum of 26 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius. Another factor which affects the climate of Cape Town is the winds. There are specific names of two certain types of winds blowing in this South African city. The first is the berg. Cape Town gets uncomfortably hot when the berg wind, meaning the mountain wind, blows from the Karoo, which is a natural semi-desert region of South Africa, for a couple of weeks in February or March. The next is the Cape Doctor. It is a strong, often persistent and dry southeasterly wind that blows on the South African coast from spring to late summer. It is known as Cape Doctor because of a local belief that it clears Cape Town of pollution and pestilence. It is notorious especially in and around the Cape Peninsula, where it can be unpleasantly strong and irritating. Okay. So, as promised, now, I'll tell you about the floral plants which are not only endemic to Cape Town, but also endangered. The majority of plants endemic to Cape Town are found on the Table Mountain. It has an unusually rich biodiversity. Its vegetation consists predominantly of several different types of rich and unique Cape fynbos. Some of them are endangered, like the Peninsula Sandstone fynbos, the Peninsula Granite fynbos, Peninsula Shale Rhinosterwold, and Afro-mountain forest are critically endangered flora of Cape Town. People from outside South Africa often have a misconception about Cape Town. So, let me clear out two most common misconceptions about Cape Town today. The first is that tourists are often told that Cape Town is the city where the Indian Ocean meets the Atlantic Ocean. However, this isn't true. They both meet at Cape Agulhas, which is actually the southernmost tip of the African continent, and several kilometers south of Cape Town. The second misconception is fueled by the first misconception, by the fact that there is a temperature difference between the waters of the Atlantic seaboard and the False Bay. This makes tourists wonder that there is indeed two different oceans. Nonetheless, False Bay is a part of the Atlantic Ocean. The temperature difference occurs due to the ocean currents. Let my assistant explain it to you in brief. There are two kinds of ocean currents playing in the waters around Cape Town. The first is the cold Benguela current, which flows from the Southern Ocean to north and reduces the water temperature of the Atlantic Sea coast. It has an average of 13 degrees Celsius. The other is the warm current, called the Agulhas current, from the Indian Ocean, which makes eddies in the False Bay and increases the water temperature. It has an average of 16 to 17 degrees Celsius. As I said you earlier, that South Africa is a mix of numerous ethnic groups, colors, religions, languages and groups of people. Understanding the demographics of Cape Town is interesting as well as tricky. So, to begin with, the total population of Cape Town is 47,10,000 in 2021, in a total area of 400 square kilometer with a population density of 1530 people per square kilometer. Among the groups of people, the population of Cape Town is segregated as 42.4% colored, 38.6% Black African, 15.7% white, 1.4% Asian or Indian, and 1.9% others. Talking about religion, the major religion of the city is Christianity at about 82% of the population. 7.1% of the population identify themselves with various indigenous religions, and 5.4% as agnostic. 2.4% of the population was Hindus, 1.7% was Muslims. Among the minorities are the 0.5% of the Baha'i faith, 0.2% Buddhists, and less than 0.1% Jews. Residents of Cape Town are often bilingual. Their first language differs as 35.7% speak Afrikaans, 29.8% speak Xhosa, and 28.4% speak English. The flag of South Africa was designed in March 1994 and adopted on 27 April of that year. According to official South African government information, the South African flag is a synopsis of principal elements of the country's flag history. Although different people may attribute personal symbolism to the individual colors or color combinations, the government declared that no universal symbolism should be attached to any of the colors. The only symbolism in the flag is the V or Y shape, which can be interpreted as the convergence of diverse elements within South African society, taking the road ahead in unity. The present coat of arms of South Africa was introduced on Freedom Day, that is 27 April, 2000. The motto is written in the Khoisan language and translates literally to "Diverse People Unite." Nature has gifted Cape Town with such picturesque views, stunning landscape and blooming flora and fauna, that these features dominate the list of most beautiful places in the city. To begin with, we have the Muzenberg Beach located along the False Bay. It is one of the most picturesque beach in Cape Town. Its warm waters makes it a surfer's paradise. Clifton Beach is a cool beach to hang out during the summer as the water remains cold throughout the year. Located on the Atlantic seaboard, this is a series of 4 beaches having pure white sand. The Castle of Good Hope, shaped like a pentagon, is the oldest surviving colonial building in South Africa. The Dutch East India Company started constructing it in 1666 to replenish supplies for the ships sailing to Asia. Its gate design includes the coat of arms of several Dutch cities. It houses 2 museums within its premises. First is the Military Museum, which showcases the history of the Cape, while the Isaac Museum exhibits ancient paintings and antique furnitures. The Kirsten Bosch National Botanical Gardens, established in 1913, is one of the world's best botanical gardens. It was the first to concentrate on the country's own native plant species. This garden features not only plants from the Cape area, but also from throughout South Africa. The garden is set against a backdrop of Table Mountain, a fact that offers visitors some really stunning views. Situated within a national park, reaching the pinnacle of the Table Mountain is a thrilling experience that offers phenomenal bird's-eye view overlooking the city of Cape Town, Robben Island to the north and the Atlantic seaboard to the west and south. Peaking at 1,084 meters, the top of the Table Mountain can be reached easily via an indigenous cable car, or can be hiked on foot. There aren't too many places in the world where one can walk on the beach, sunbathe or swim with penguins as their companion. But Boulders Beach is one of them. More than 2,000 penguins call this as their home. These are the Cape penguins or African penguins, also known as jackass penguins, because of their sound, which sounds more like the bray of a donkey than a bird chirp. The Cape neighborhood, which is also known as the Malay Quarters, is a colorful neighborhood, not far from central Cape Town. One of the most Instagrammable spots in Cape Town, it has brightly painted, uniquely styled houses, some dating back to the 18th century, and cobblestone streets create marvelous photo opportunities. There's also a museum, called the Cape Museum, which shows the life of the early Muslim settlers of the Cape. Over a span of 3 centuries, Robben Island was used as a military base, a hospital for those with socially unacceptable diseases such as leprosy, and as a prison for political prisoners. Its most famous prisoner was undoubtedly Nelson Mandela, who was imprisoned here for 18 years. He went on to become the first democratically elected president of South Africa. Today, Robben Island is one of the most popular spots to visit. Named after Queen Victoria and Prince Alfred, the Victoria and Alfred waterfront is considered one of South Africa's most popular tourist attraction, with its stunning view of the Atlantic Ocean, Table Bay and the Table Mountain. This historic waterfront boasts a variety of shops, restaurants and nightlife. It is also home to galleries, an aquarium, a ship museum among other attractions. The land, which has a rich history and culture of so many indigenous people, already had its own foods and tastes. It was further enhanced by the European settlers, especially the Dutch, the French and the British. These settlers brought with them many Asians to work as skilled laborers, especially from Bengal, southern India, the Malayan Peninsula and the islands of Indonesia. These settlers brought their own recipes in South Africa, giving rise to a new cuisine, which was the Cape Malay cuisine. Today the South African cuisine is an amalgamation of indigenous cookery of the Caucasian and Bantu group of people, and the non-indigenous cookery of Cape Dutch and Cape Malay cookery, French cookery and Indian cookery. Therefore, before I tell you about some of the irresistible and mouth-watering dishes of Cape Town, I want you to know that the currency of South Africa is the rand. If you're an animal lover, consider liking this video and pressing the red subscribe button, because I am gonna give you an information which is going to touch your heart. The currency notes in South Africa features an animal in them, which is really unique. So, the top dishes include Boerewors, Biltong, Gatsby, Barbati, Rooibos tea. Apart from these, Cape Town is the heartland of South Africa's wine culture. It offers you a diverse range of award-winning vineyards. Jan van Riebeeck was a Dutch navigator and colonial administrator who arrived in Cape Town in what then became the Dutch Cape Colony. He produced the first wine bottle of Cape Town. Wild game meat, which means meat of wild animals, in South African accent. By now you've probably guessed that South Africans love to eat meat and exotic wild game. Crocodiles, cougars, ostriches, and springboks are widely available. Cape Town is truly the city that never sleeps, with parties and activities happening all year round. It's no wonder why Cape Town is the tourists' party central destination. Let's know about a few festivals originated and based only in Cape Town. Lowenerine's Queen's Plate Racing Festival is molded on famed international racing festivals. From 2017, Lowenerine's Queen's Plate became South Africa's first ever multi-day racing horse festival. A free-to-public festival of music and activities is Cape Town's Jazzathon. It features primarily diverse, contemporary South African music and performers. Time to know about the legends from the city of Cape Town. The first is Jack Callis, J.P. Duminy and Gary Kirsten, former cricketers. John Maxwell Coetzee, author and novelist. Reeva Steenkamp, former model. Abdullah Ibrahim, pianist and composer. Byron Langley, actor. Candace Poole, jewelry designer and entrepreneur. Justin Gabriel, former WWE superstar. Lisa King, actress. Anne Peacock, writer. Finally, we come to the end of yet another episode. So, I hope you came to know about many unknown facts about not only Cape Town, but also about a country which is the second country after the UK to host a cricket, a football and a rugby World Cup. Farewell, for now, but participate in midweek geography quiz by going to the link in the description below and following me on Instagram. The link of the profile of my assistant is also given below. Captivating Cappadocia, coming up next. Stay tuned.
Cause this is Africa.